This is an Envoice Media podcast.
No, but relationships are transactional in a way, right?
Okay, if the man doesn't want you sexually, that's a problem.
I'm gonna show you in a second.
What, your nipples?
I want to hang out. I want to go out, even though I'm married. My life is not over. Like, I just didn't have that much feelings for him.
I don't care if you're gonna sleep with him. You gotta get that location. That's what I was told.
Obviously, Maryna has a crush. Because this is my type. I have a type.
You're listening to Just Fake It Coming to LA podcast. Now here are your hosts, Nora and Maryna.
Hey everyone, welcome to Just Fake It Coming to LA podcast. Here I am, Nora, with Maryna today.
Hello.
Outside it's sunny and beautiful, and we're meeting today on Friday because we're going to talk about dating in LA.
This is so exciting. This is one of the favorite topics of everybody. But before we start talking about dating, I want to show you something. It's very controversial. Our producer is probably going to kill me. I don't know if YouTube is going to let... Oh, anyway, just a little pre-story. Everybody knows, or like who doesn't know, I have a little problem with shopping. I think I'm a certified shopaholic. But anyway, so I did shopping recently and I bought something. And I'm wearing it now. I'm going to show you in a second.
Well,
anyway.
I don't see anything.
Hold on. You'll see. So, you know Skims, you know brand Skims.
Of course.
Right? It's Kim Kardashian's brand and stuff. And basically they came out, it was this bra. Okay, it is the ultimate push-up nipple bra.
Wait, it pushes the nipples up?
I'm going to show you in a second.
What, your nipples or the bra?
So it is a very controversial piece of clothing because there's a lot of hate and love on the internet. And I'm on the side of lovers. Like I saw it. I was like, I need it.
Okay. So, I can't wait to see it. Anything which is connects to nipples pushing them up, I mean, I'm for it.
I just want to hear your opinion on it. Okay. Again, everybody. Okay, I'm not gonna show it to the camera. I'm gonna show it to you.
Oh my God.
Can I show it to the camera?
Yes, you can. Oh my God.
You can see it?
Wow.
Huh?
No,
How
you
sexy
see?
Is that?
It's like your nipples.
Right?
And it's like your breasts are huge. And nipples are standing, meaning that you have such a nice breast.
I'm always cold.
Oh my God. No. Women create more tricks for guys. First it was push-up bra. No, first it's makeup.
Yes, okay.
Then push-up bras. Now fake nipple bra.
No, but
what's next?
Listen, can you imagine wearing this to like a first date? How hard it's going to be for a guy to keep the eye contact with you?
Oh my God. You guys.
It's crazy. Anyway.
You know what? For my next date, I think I'm going to borrow this shirt from you.
It's not a shirt. It's a bra.
It's a bra. Okay, I'm going to wear turtlenex and this bra everywhere I go. Is it push-up bra?
It is a push-up bra.
All right.
Anyway,
perfect.
I just want to let everybody know. I mean, it's my little secret, but I just shared it with you, and I think it's great. And there's a lot of hate on the internet, right? Because everybody's commenting like, "What is this?" Like, what?
Honestly, I love you. I never follow those clothing trends and stuff, but you're also on point, and you always follow, and you just tell me new things every single time. That's why Maryna is a big fashionista and shopaholic.
I'm crazy. Yeah.
Yes, and I'm the person who comes in 15-20 minutes, try on and leave. That's how I buy clothing.
Lucky you.
I know. I'm just yes. Anyway, coming back to dating. So ladies and gents, when you go on dating, don't forget that you can wear this bra and make sure the second date will happen.
The ultimate push-up nipple bra.
Girls, if you're afraid to be ghosted by a guy after first date, remember, just wear the push-up bra with fake nipples and wear all this, bodycon dresses and turtlenecks. And trust me, he will ask for a second date because those nipples will not gonna leave him completely hanging. He will be so interested in you.
Next episode is brought to you by Skims.
Yeah. Sponsored by Skims and fake nipple bra. Anyway. Maryna, coming back to dating.
I haven't dated for a while now because obviously I'm a happily married woman now, which is a little bit unusual considering I'm pretty young. right? So everybody in my circle of friends here, they're not married, obviously, right? And I'm the only one who's like married. And I'm like, I feel weird and I feel a little bit controversial about it, right? Which is like the good sides and the bad sides, right? I kind of miss dating and I'm like, oh, that's like so fun.
Because
like,
you miss, I think, more, usually how it happens with friendships, right?
Yeah.
Single girls hang out together because they party together, they go to restaurant bars and they meet people together.
Yeah.
And the married ladies, they kind of hang out with families, like couples by couples. That's how it goes.
Yeah,
And
like, can you call me lady? Like a married lady? No, like I'm a young girl. Like, I'm still like want to hang out and party. And
I
do
know
stuff.
you call me sometimes like, Nora, let's go out.
Yeah, like I was like, I want to hang out. I want to go out, even though like I'm married. My life is not over. Like,
No, but guess what? Everybody wants what they don't have, right? So, like my friends who are single, they want to be in relationship, they want to get married, they want to settle down. But the ones who actually settle down, they're like, oh, I miss those days. Getting ready with your girlfriends in front of the mirror, turning on the music, dressing up, and going out, and meet people, going to parties. It's fun. It's fun. But if it lasts for years and years and years, and there's nothing serious coming your way, that's also exhausting, and then you just get depressed because like how many times have you been in LA? Like me personally, right? I've been on plenty of parties in LA, you name it, and not just LA. I travel the world. I mean, nowadays, we go everywhere. And at some point, I see my girlfriends who've been single for years.
Yeah.
Not even have one single serious attachment. I'm not talking about years of attachment, but like something which is close to relationship. It gets depressing, and they're like, oh, like I don't want to go out anymore. But I feel like people who are trying to date, they think the only way to meet a guy or a girl is through going out to a club. But I'm sorry for saying that, but can you really, like, it's rare when you meet somebody serious at the club.
Oh no, hell no.
I mean, it's possible, don't get me wrong, but it's rare.
I mean, honestly, all my love stories mostly came from my work.
Well, wait, also about your work, I know you dated a guy. Can I say it? You kind of talked, I don't know if you dated, but you talked to a guy because you were doing your films. And, just for people who don't know about film industry, the guy had a Red Dragon camera. It's an expensive camera back then. And then all of us who were in film school, we tried to make just the best quality of the movies, right? So we need the best cameras, but those cameras are expensive. So what do you do to do your thesis film? You date the guy who has the Red Dragon camera.
I mean, no, he was a nice guy. Everything was like good, but like, I just didn't have that much feelings for him, but I had feelings for his camera.
Okay, coming back to this story, remember when you were directing my thesis film, 2 weeks before, the location where I was supposed to shoot my film disappeared. Didn't work out. And then there was my friend of mine who was kind of hitting on me, a young guy, nothing crazy. And he was opening up a gallery in downtown, art gallery. And we decided to use his location. But then even before agreeing on that with him, you told me.
Yeah, I was like,
you
Nora,
told me the
you
craziest
gotta
thing.
go in there, put your blessings in front, and just get us that location however you want to get it.
I don't care if you're going to sleep with him, you got to get that location. That's what I was told by Maryna. So yeah, talking about friendships too. Let's talk about friendships next time in LA, huh?
All right.
But, thanks God didn't go to... Maybe it's actually a bad thing. I don't know. The guy was actually cute. I remember him.
I mean, you're still free. I don't know about him, but,
Well, but yes, it was a joke, obviously, but everything worked out. But sometimes, let's be honest. If we are being completely honest, girls and guys, they meet each other and they sometimes try to take advantage, but not in a bad way, right? Anything which is hurting feelings, like we're not considering it. I'm talking about, helping out each other in some matters. There is nothing wrong with that.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. It's very transactional.
Well, we were talking...
No, but relationships are transactional in a way, right?
I think LA, we're talking about relationships in LA are extremely transactional.
I guess. Not all of them. Again, I met my husband here.
I know,
amazing.
not all of them.
I was like, I'm lucky as crazy because again, like again, going back to dating, like I'm watching all my friends, right? Like running on the dates, like going all the time and like putting themselves out there, right? And I'm like, I don't need to do that anymore. You know,
Exactly.
I can just go to club, party, buy a drink with my husband's credit card and just like, you know.
Yeah,
live
you're
my best
saving
life.
your energy and time. And that's why, for me personally, when I realized how much time and energy you spend on dates,
True.
either you're going to just build yourself up,
Yeah.
or you're going to get into dating game. Connect both. It is possible, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, you can always manage your time, but is it hard? Yes.
Of course it's hard.
Because it's energy consuming. When we're in our early 20s, let's say, we have so much energy and less things to do, so we can date around. When you are a bit older, you're building your career and everything, of course priorities changes. And I don't want to say that coming back to transactional, the relationship,
Yeah.
I think real true love, real true relationships cannot be based on transaction. It is based on love, mutual respect, honesty, of course, and rooting for each other. But the relationships we're talking about, being transactional and stuff, I think maybe in the beginning people do that, but it's more of a situationship in the relationship. If we're talking about true love, people want to help each other. Like a man will want to support a woman would want to put something on the table as well. But now we're talking more about like first dates in LA. We're not getting serious, right? And trust me, I hear so many stories from guys as well, not just girls, because we want to, as women, we see our perspective as girls. Oh, the guys do that and they do that, and it's so hard to meet somebody because they're not serious. All they want to get into my panties. But
Which is
true.
Probably.
Okay, well, it's nature. If the man doesn't want you sexually, that's a problem.
Yeah, it is a problem.
Yes. For a woman, if as we're saying, gosh, just we talked about pennies and I start laughing.
But talking
about first dates. I hear from male friends of mine who's been catfished so many times.
Okay.
There was a story one guy literally told me. He comes to a restaurant and the girl is not the girl from the app, from the picture. And then, and then she was like, oh my God, she couldn't make it, But, she was telling me to tell you that next time you will meet. Of course, he was being nice. He was like, okay, well, let's have dinner since we're already here, right? And she starts ordering for hundreds and hundreds of dollars of food.
Nice.
And the waiter overheard their conversation about catfishing, and the guy was super nice. And then the waiter just comes up to a guy when she went to the bathroom.
Okay.
And he says she ordered like almost for $1,000 check food.
Dude,
and she's trying just to get this food and leave. And the waiter was a guy. He was very, transparent with another guy. And he was like, are you sure you want to put this order? He's like, no, cancel. He's just leaving. And when he tried to leave, he was like, I'm so sorry, I gotta go to this girl. The girl just created a whole scene in a restaurant. Like, you were this and that, started cussing him. And it's hard for the guys too, because like he doesn't want to be a dick.
Okay.
But at the same time, he needs to also protect his, money.
Of course. I mean, because for
Time.
guys, it's incredibly expensive to date girls because girls. I mean, we had this conversation before because we had this podcast with Astra, right, about old relationships. So we're not going to go in there so far. But again, it is hard for both sides, right? But coming back to first dates in LA, right? I remember my first time in LA. And when I was single, it was, I think it was back in 2016 when I was here, like the first time, right? And it's a crazy story. It's about dating, but also not about dating. But I just want to tell the story because it's fascinating for me. I don't know how about you. Anyway, so I go to film school, right, for that short course first. And I have this classmate. I'm not going to tell his name, but we're going to call him a rock star.
Okay.
So he looks like legitimate, like he just, long black hair, dark eyes. He wears like all black clothes and like, I don't know, looks like a rock star. Obviously, Maryna has a crush. Because this is my type. I have a type. I love rock.
I love that me and my
musicians
girlfriends have different types of men.
Actually.
Thanks God.
Anyway, I have a huge crush on this guy, a rock star, right? And we go to the same school, and I'm like trying to like make a move and stuff, or like not make a move, but like, let him know that like I'm interested or something. Anyway, and we have a project coming, right? A movie project, right? And he comes to me and my friend. Back then I had a friend, she's also from Ukraine, so we're like kind of at the same class, right? And he comes like, hey guys, like would you help me on my project? And we're like, yeah, sure. And he asks me to do sound for his movie.
Oh,
Where is me and where is sound? It's like, but I'm like, I have such a question. I'm like, yes, of course I'll do sound for you. I'll hold the boom as long as you want me to hold it. Like,
no.
It's like what crazy girls do. But it's not even about that. Anyway, I say yes. I'm like, yes, I'll do sound, even though I don't know anything about sound. Just like, I'll do it. And then he's like, yeah, we're going to film in my garage. And I'm like, cool.
You're going to his place. Nice.
Yeah, like we're going to his place. I'm like, oh, maybe like after something's gonna happen. Like it's cool. Like, but okay, the day of the filming comes, right? He sends us the address, and my friend goes separately. I go separately, and we like agreed to meet at his place, right? And all I knew about this project that it's gonna involve like some sort of sex scene, but I didn't know like what kind. Like we didn't know anything about it, basically, right? And I order Uber. I go by the address. And what happens is we come to like huge gate in Hollywood. Like it's in Hollywood Hills. And there's like this huge gate, right? And like, I don't know where it leads to. And I start like calling because there's like a calling machine or something. I start calling, but nobody picks up. And then the Uber driver like looks at me and he's like, are you sure that's the right address? I'm like, yeah, I think so. Like I have this in my phone. Like I think it's the right address. And we stay there for like 5 minutes. And then I feel so embarrassed because like, I don't know if it's like the right address. Nobody picks up. I'm texting the guy. He's not like answering. And I'm like, shit. So I get out of the taxi. I'm like, okay, just drop me off here. Like I'm gonna figure it out. Cause like I'm stupid. Anyway. So, okay, taxi driver left. I stay there. I try calling my friend from Ukraine. And she's like, yeah, I'm on my way. I'm gonna be there soon. And then basically she gets there and then they let us in. So this gate opens, right? We enter. And this is absolutely not what I was expecting from like, we're going to film a movie in my garage. Basically, we enter this crazy mansion. Like it's insanely huge. Like we walk, there's like a palm tree alley and stuff. And basically it's my first time in LA, right? I haven't seen anything like that before. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, we're walking forward. And the first thing we see is there's like this kind of like pool and jacuzzi under. And we walk in and there's naked people in a jacuzzi. It's like doing different things, like not sexual, but other things, right? And I'm like, where the hell am I? Like, what is happening? And there's like this huge house and like everything is just like insane. And we're like, this is not the garage, like, So me and my friend were like trying to figure out like, why are we here? Like, why is this house? And then the guy meets us and he's like, yeah, hey, like come in, blah, blah, blah. We're going to film here. And there's like, obviously there is a garage, but like, super huge garage was like all the crazy stuff. It's not a garage,
it's a hangar.
Basically, right? And the thing he says, he's like, yeah, but like, please don't film anything around. And we're like, okay. So, obviously we're on a mission now. We're like, whose house is this? We need to figure out whose house is this, right? So at some point, like during a lunch break or something, we're like, oh, we're going to grab like waters or something. And my friend is like, let's go see. So we enter the house, right? And we see all these posters. It's like on the walls with the names of the movies, the years they're made, and like was... I don't remember. There was something specific, either signatures or something, right? So we're like, okay. So we started like looking them up and we realized the oldest movies are made by one director. And we're like, that's his house. I'm not going to name the name of the director because like I don't want to get in any trouble, right? But we'll call him Mr. Catastrophe.
Okay.
Anyway, and we're like, we're in this house. Like, how? We are in his house. And then the question is, why is this guy in this house? It's like, how is he there, right? That's like my crush, right? And I'm like, okay, like, why is he living here? Is he a son? Is he like a brother? Is he just renting it? Or just breaking into this? Like, what is happening, right? So like, this is the mission of the day. Not to make the movie, but figure out who is connected cow and like, how hot is this guy, right? So anyway, going back to the movie is crazy. There's like insane amount of people coming. And basically what he did, he directed it and it was a huge orgy. And again, I'm like 20 years old. This is my first time in Los Angeles. I've never seen that like many naked people in my life. I'm holding the boom because I'm doing sound for the orgy. Wow. It was insane. And then basically we didn't figure out that day who the guy, like how the guy connected to the house.
Why
right?
didn't you just ask?
I don't know. I felt it like, I don't know. I feel like it's not nice asking and stuff, And he acted cool. Like everything's like, normal.
Did you find out?
Of course I found out.
Okay.
We found out
were
later.
they related?
They were dating.
He was gay.
He's gay.
Wow.
Yes. Which is like, which is fun. But I didn't know that and I had a crush on him.
It's a story of your life. You fall in love. You literally have crushes. I don't think it's the first story of yours where you had a crush on a guy with a different sexual orientation.
I don't know. I think my internal compass is like very off.
It's just Maryna,
or something.
This way, no, this way.
But it was insane, right? And then like I was sure before that moment that he made moves on me. I was 100% sure that he was interested. And then I figure out that he's not. And I'm like, Maryna, how wrong were you? Anyway, so now they're actually married. This couple. And
how is his career doing?
My friend? I don't know, actually. I don't think he's directing anything. But last time I saw him was last Christmas, I think. I went on a party at the same house.
Nice.
He invited me over, and it was nice. But anyway, at that point of time, it was a very shocking experience for me because, like, again, coming from Ukraine to Los Angeles, seeing all this, dealing with this, sexual orientation, which we basically back home, like, people not really open about being gay or like lesbian or queer, which here it's normal, right? But for me, it was first experience. I'm like, what? So that was like my first crazy experience was dating, but not dating in LA, and we're like still friends and stuff with the guy. But yeah, that was a huge fail on my end.
Well, I think everybody goes through things like that for sure, especially here. But
I guess
when I first got to LA, obviously, you come in your early 20s, you're this girl, from Kazakhstan, and you come to film school, you study acting, and you're exploring.
Yeah.
So imagine you are seeing the whole diversity of men here in LA, right?
Yeah.
You can meet anybody.
Yeah.
So I remember my very, very first date vividly. I'm taking Uber pool. Back then,
I love it. I love Uber pools. There's so many great stories. Start with
because I lived in Culver City, but I'm coming from Burbank. So you can imagine how long it took me every day.
Yeah.
So I'm coming in Uber pool and I'm being dropped off soon. And I don't know, driver, me and another passenger on the back kind of started talking. And the guy on the back was actually cute. And I still remember his name. I think I can say it freely because it's, it doesn't really matter. It happened a long time ago. So he was like, yeah, my name is Daniel. So we started kind of talking in Uber while driving and at night. And then at the end of the ride, he was like, would you, share your number? I was like, sure. And, we exchanged numbers. And I was so excited.
Ooh.
Because it was the first guy, like an American guy who is from here, who I'm going on a date with.
Nice.
And my English is broken back then. Still is a little bit.
I know.
And I remember we're setting up a date, and then I think after a date we went to see his friends in their place. He had a roommate, and we're all so young. And I remember like everything for me was so new, like the way they interact, the way everything happens with American guy, right? It's so different because I was asking, oh, do you travel? Like some stupid questions. Oh, do you like traveling? I'm like, what? I was like, have you ever thought about living somewhere else? And he literally told me, why? I live in California. It's the best place in the world. Why would I go somewhere?
Oh,
and
okay.
yes. And for me personally, I was a bit judgmental. I was like, yeah, but traveling is good, traveling broadens your mind. Anyway, it didn't last whatsoever. We didn't really date. I just went on maybe 2 dates with the guy.
Okay.
But I realized that back then, my first few months in LA, I was so culturally different that understanding men here was a task for me.
Okay.
And I remember my first dating experiences, and I didn't even understand who is who, what is what, I was going, and now I'm, remembering I was going with the coolest guys, on dates, but I never understood what's going on. Like, I go to a
Did you
restaurant.
understand what they were talking about?
Yeah, but most of the times, okay, what I hear the most, I mean, my first, especially years in LA when I came, you're so exotic. The word exotic I heard so many times, like literally every single day, that at some point I was like, please just don't say this word. Just don't say this word.
You're like a fruit.
Yeah.
Exotic fruit.
Yeah. And they're like, it's this. At some point I thought maybe it's Asian fetish. Maybe it's,
Okay.
the guys just like, the way I look or something.
Yeah.
But I realized that everybody was kind of like treating me, oh, you're so cute, you're so exotic, and blah, blah, blah. And there was not much of a personality they wanted to know. But obviously I didn't even have much personality. I was so young. So everything I saw was just, yeah, let's try first time Thai food, or let's try this first time. Because everything I've tried first time, most of it, of course, happened during the dates, because the guys who are from here, they show you around, they show you how everything works. And I'm just like, yeah, I want to do this. I want to see this. And I was open to every experience possible my first year.
No, which is great, which is what you should do, right? Like, as they say, like the best way to discover the city, right, is by like love kind of language and stuff.
Of course, yeah, of course, through the dates.
Yeah.
And I met, as I said, the first one was an Uber, second one was at the bar. I even remember Doheny Room in Beverly Hills. That was the bar. I think we actually went there sometime with you too, afterwards, a year later.
And I'm not surprised.
We had lots of nights like that. Okay, let's not say everything.
Sure, we're still gonna keep our secrets, guys.
I mean, I even went on some apps, I think, too. And, I don't really like dating apps. I don't really use them. In the beginning I did, because everybody did that. And I remember even my classmate, to make fun of me, kind of downloaded Tinder on my phone. And I was like, what is Tinder? What is Tinder? And they're like, don't worry about it. And I started texting with some guy who was ready to come by in 5 minutes and pick me up from school. And I was like, stop using my phone. But yeah, I never really had Tinder.
Okay.
Just one time when my classmate downloaded. But yes, I did go on. I don't remember what's the name of the app, but I did. And it's so misleading, because you see a person on a picture, and then you kind of have this picture in your mind, and then you meet a person. It's kind of okay. But you're kind of disappointed, and then you kind of feel bad to leave the date.
I guess, yeah.
So you just stay there for like 2 hours trying to be nice. And I was even more nice. I couldn't say no. Like,
no, but you were nice, right? Because there's girls who would like stand up
there
and
are
walk
girls
away.
who would stand up, walk away, or say like, "Oh, you were like pathetic" or something. No. I would never say that. I for me, like the feelings of a human being is important. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, right? I mean, we can talk about it after the date, but I cannot just stand up and go.
Yeah, like
even though maybe it's the right thing to do, but no, still, everybody made an effort. It's time.
Yeah,
it's money. That's why you got to respect each other's times and money. And plus, from some dates, there are friendships born as well. I know guys don't like, guys or girls don't like to be in a friend zone, but sometimes there is no connection, and then you just you see the person is cool, and then you become friends. And trust me, those friendships, I see my friends more than I go on dates.
Okay.
Literally. So it's not a bad thing.
Again, I'm a believer. Again, you might not agree with me. I am a believer that there is no real friendship between men and women. I
disagree. I strongly disagree.
I believe if you feel friendship,
I strongly disagree.
Again, I don't know, guys. You can comment on like, what do you think? But I think it's like, it's always one way. So like if you feel that somebody is your friend, right? You feel friendship feelings basically, but the other person is into you. And that's why he's pretending to be your friend, because he is into you. Or other way, right? The guy might be like, oh yeah, we're friends, but the girl has a secret crush on him. And then that's why she's pretending to be a friend. That's my theory. I might be wrong, but it's just from my experience in life.
It is true.
Yeah.
But sometimes guys they don't have the crush on you. They don't want a relationship. They want to sleep with you.
Yeah. That's also true.
They want to. It starts with "I want to sleep with you" because guys come up to a girl not because they see her pure soul, right, and beautiful heart. They see her blessings, as
Her
you
blessings.
said, right? Her blessings with this top and nipples. That's what they see, and it's normal because everybody see your look first, and then they start talking, and then you see if there is a click or not.
Yeah.
But we're wired. Men are wired to be hunters, and to try as many women as possible in a way, right? And women, what we do, we don't wait around. Of course not. Sometimes we make a move too, but we accept.
Yeah.
But women are not wired to really chase. It's just I think could seem a bit unattractive, which I'm not judging anybody. I chased too, trust me. Like everybody went through things where they attracted, chased, the dynamic changed. But still, guy will come up to you because he really likes your legs, your smile, your dimples, your I wanted to say tits, breasts. Blessings, yes. I don't know, your butt, anything really. And that's when the connection starts, right? He wants to take you on a date thinking that after first date, they're going to go home together.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure, okay, guys and girls, you can disagree with me, but if you're thinking, if the guy doesn't think that, sometimes, okay, there is a love from first sight, like, oh my God, she's amazing, there is a crush, I'm never going to leave her, right? But most of the times, you meet at the bar, you meet at the club, you're all dressed up, beautiful, drinking. Of course, drinking. Keyword is drinking. Or doing some other things.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you're on this high roll of emotions where you just want to continue of the fun. And then how many times guys ask you, oh, so you want to come over? We can
for after party,
Netflix and chill, have a drink, just talk in a quiet, be comfortable. We're just gonna hug. We're just gonna cuddle. Nothing bad is gonna happen. Don't worry. But keep drinking. Here's another shot and another one.
I have a theory. I have a theory that the guys and the girls, they all play game, right? And I think guys, they play a game of getting the girl to go with them home.
Yeah,
this
and
is
the girl
game. And girl
is
plays
playing an
the
opposite game.
No, I think she's playing the game of how many drinks, how many food items I can get for free without going to his place.
Well,
it's like, what can I get from him without doing what he wants?
But if there is real attraction, the girl will either, not care and do it, or she will play a long game where she tries to keep him and bring him to a relationship.
I guess, but honestly, most of my relationships started from intimacy. Which is crazy, which is not supposed to be like this, right?
There's no such thing as supposed to be. I feel like in modern world, there is no such formula. Yeah. Everybody thinks there is formula. There is relationship coaches. There's books written on that. And everybody says, no, intimacy shouldn't be there for I don't know, whatever months, days, weeks, whatever. But I know couples who started the first night with intimacy, but I also know couples who kind of got to know each other. And then that actually created very deep connections. And I also have friends who are guys who say that after one night stand, he's not going to date a girl. Because the girl was bugging him, asking, so what do you think? After one night stand, is the relationship possible? I'm like, well, you can't put this on a guy who has one idea in his head that he's not going to date a girl after one night stand. And there are guys who don't care. There are girls who don't care.
Most of the people don't care. If you vibe this person, if you like your intimacy, why not? Repeat and repeat and repeat, and then it's actually
because
working.
Instinctively men look for a woman to marry, and for them a woman who gives up easily, they think she would do it with everybody else, which I think the huge misconception, because you can't really judge everybody by by these things, especially in the modern world. But I do believe that when intimacy comes too fast, let's say, just met hour later, and it's just I don't know, as a woman, even it's a different process when it comes to intimacy. For men, I feel like it's different. They can do it quick and move on. And with women need emotions. Without emotions, it's not really making love. It's more of a physical act.
Yeah, but there's always exceptions. And going back to attracting and chasing stuff, I have something. I'm not proud of it, right? But I had situations in my life when I was a little bit of a stalker, and I would stalk a guy. like, I was a legitimate stalker. I'm telling you. So there was this guy, and it was back in Ukraine, but whatever. We were playing tennis together, right? So he was like, he was in my team, whatever, right? We had the same coaches, right? We would play tennis together. And again, I had a huge crush on him. And basically, it's like I was losing my mind. And I figured out where he lived. It's like I knew exact like home, apartment. I knew the car his mom was driving. So guess what? I would hang out by his house to accidentally bump into him.
Oh gosh.
And it was so creepy. And I think like he figured it out at some point that I'm like crazy about him. And like, yeah. And but it was like, I would like text him and like, hey, like you want to hang out? And he's like, oh no, I'm not at home. And I'm like, I know you're at home.
Wow.
Well, I didn't tell it to him, but like, I know you're at home.
Okay, so similar thing happened to me.
Oh yeah? Did you stalk somebody?
Well, I wouldn't say it's stalking, but okay, so I think I was 17 or 18, my first year in university, and I just started going to the clubs because that's when you can get into a club at 18. And I was, very, very by rule, girl. Okay. And I meet this guy and I have a huge crush. Like first time in my life, cannot get the guy out of my head. Was it hormones of 18-year-old girl? I don't know. Okay. He was extremely handsome for me. He was popular. He was like one of the directors of the club. He was doing the shows, like everything about him.
So he was like much older?
Not much. I would say 8 years older,
okay,
7 years older, and I'm an 18-year-old, and he wasn't like an art director, let's say, whatever.
Okay.
And I had this huge crush, right? But obviously you see that every girl wants to be with him, obviously, because he, everybody starts going to the club and everybody wants to party with him, and then, he's just this social butterfly. He sits at the bar, talks to everybody. He literally could hold my waist at the same time talking to another girl at the bar. Okay. And giving her compliments.
Okay.
And I'm sorry. I ate that. Everything. I literally did because I was like looking at him like, oh my God, you're the love of my life. That's it. And then obviously when I was going to a club to see him because we kind of met like outside of a club, but I just didn't have more chances to see him. And then I started just going to the club almost every 3 days.
Yeah, just to see him, right?
Just to see him. And then I saw obviously his car. And when I was walking around, on the streets, I was always looking for his car. I was always see something similar. I'm like, maybe it's him. I got to go to that side of the road. Maybe it's him. And it got to the point, it got really sad at the end. Yeah. Not sad, nothing bad happened, but I remember one time I went to the club one time and we were sitting in the bar and then he was like, yeah, I'm going to come back. And then club is closing, it's like 4 or 5 a.m. And I'm like, where? And I'm asking everybody like, stop, where is this guy? And they were like, oh, he left. And I remember I was living in dorm. Because university next to the university, and I can't get in, so I start calling friends, and it starts raining, and it's like I don't know, spring or autumn. It was raining. I'm crying, calling my friends at 4 a.m., walking at night under the rain. It was such a dramatic moment, and it took me time to get over it. Thanks God, my friends helped me, but it's crazy how you can just fall for something. In your opinion, great, but then it was one of the first crushes I had, which ended okay, fine, but not really, because I still remember how I was walking under the rain in cold, crying, heartbroken.
I feel like everybody needs to go through traumatic love experience to learn and to teach yourself to know your value, to know like how to behave in these situations, not to fall like for some sort of guy and stalk him and show up at clubs.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you think that after one time of not unsuccessful love experience, you're gonna get better, no. Don't keep your hopes up. I'm just being real. People say things come with experience, and it is 100% true. one sad love, whatever relationship or attempt of a relationship or a situationship does not change anything. Another one will come.
No, that's true.
And then another one will come until you change yourself from within. When you stop, you stop just kind of like chasing. Because I know how it feels, and everybody do. When you love, not even love, like somebody so much, you cannot keep him out of your mind. You just constantly trying to create situation in your life every day where you can be around. But usually it comes. Girls are weaker in this part because guys, I feel like they're brain wired in the way where if they're focused on the job,
they don't think about it.
They don't think about it. Yeah, whenever they have a boner, they might think about it. But again, yes. No, but they of course the guys also have feelings, which is deep. But girls, they fall in love so quickly.
Yeah, and
guys,
so
when
strong.
they fall in love, they do it stronger though. Girls are easier to get. I feel like girls, they have easier time. Of course, depending on
you
how
like
serious
cry for a couple days, but then you're much better like a week after, I think.
And in this case, all I say is always be like, I like when the guys and girls are being fair and they're just opening up and saying, hey, I don't think this is working out.
Yeah.
And let's, I respect you, you respect me. But most of the times, nobody really want to do that. Nobody want to hear it. True. Nobody really want to do that. And, it is what it is.
No. Speaking about respect, I remember one of the dates I had here. It was so bad. It was like the worst date I've ever been to. It was great. It was great because it was so bad. I don't know. Maybe it's bad for me. Maybe everybody else was going to listen like, oh, that's a normal date, But anyway, met guy through Tinder, right? But what's funny, I met him with my friend because I was hanging out with my friend, a girlfriend, right? And we're like, let's get a guy. Like, let's do it. So we sit on Tinder, we find the guy, and we're like, hey, let's meet up like right now. He's like, yeah, okay, come, like, let's meet at the bar, right? So we hang out, all three of us. Was the guy, and I thought he liked me, right? And basically, no, it's not. Okay. What do you think? So he invites me on a date the day after, right? And he's like, he chose the restaurant, he chose the time. He's like, okay, so come here this time. Like, and anyway. Okay.
A long story short,
yeah. I show up to the restaurant. He is 40 minutes late. Oh. So I sit at the restaurant like for 40 minutes. I'm like, well, yeah, what? Okay. Shit happens. Sorry. Thing happened. And okay, well, he's texting me, oh, like, I'm so sorry, I'm late, I'm coming. So I'm sitting there for 40 minutes. I'm like, I don't know. Waiter's obviously giving me the weird looks, but I'm like, oh, no, I'm waiting for somebody. I'm fine, The guy finally shows up. And he was cute, don't get me wrong. He was like super cute, like good looking guy. He was some sort of a psychologist or something. I don't know. Anyway, he shows up. We order food. He's like, oh, let's eat. Like, I'm so sorry I'm late. I'm like, yeah, sure. We order food. They get our food to us. He turns to me and he's like, you know what? I'm actually not feeling well. I think I'm going to leave now. I'm like, what?
And he just ate the food.
So he's like, yeah, we'll finish food and I'll leave because like I don't feel well. I'm like, okay. Like, okay. And that happens too. I'm a nice person. I'm like, okay, well, made me think how, okay.
Okay.
We finish the food. And he's like, well, let's get a check. And I'm like, yeah, let's get a check. And, obviously, like, I'm a nice person again. And I'm like, you want to do half and half? I offer, but like, obviously, I'm not expecting him to say yes, but.
He did.
No. He's like, oh, but you ate more. I'm like, oh, excuse me?
Oh.
Because like, I ordered like a salad, else or something, right?
Wow.
And I'm like, okay. At this point it's funny to me because like this is like I'm like this can't get any worse. Anyway, it's like we're like 15 minutes into the day, right? He's like, you ate more. I'm like, okay, let's just like give me a check. I'll see like, okay. And he's like, do you want to put your card in? And I'm like, I can send you money, like whatever I owe. He's like, okay. And he's like, but send them to me now. I'm like, what?
Wow.
Like he's like send them to me now, right? Like right now. I'm like, okay. So like I have to sit there, count like what I ate. I have to send him the money.
Wow.
So he can pay for it. And then we'll basically get out and he's like, okay, I gotta go. And he leaves.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm standing there like, it's like the weirdest crazy date, right? And this evening, he texts me back and he invites me on another date. And I'm like, no.
Hell no.
Hell no. Like, what is this? And again, like, I don't expect guy to pay for me all the time, right? It's fine. Like, I offered half and half. That's okay. But like, the situation in general, that date is just like, that's not okay.
Well, usually if things like that happen, there is never a second date.
Yeah, exactly.
Never.
And then he hit on my friend too. He texted her
I see.
and invited her on a
Well,
date.
I've had moments where, for example, I covered with my card, but then they were supposed to send me money, but they never did. But guess what? When things like that happen,
Yeah.
I believe that it just cleans the trash out of your life. It does, because nobody has a problem. Like, we don't have problem paying for ourselves. It's not about that. It's why women do that. Like, people, the guys especially, they're like, oh, women always want men to pay for their dinners and stuff. I'm like, wait. Well, this whole thing is happening because man and woman is trying to find a partner for life, right?
Yeah.
Or, I don't know, in my ideal world. And in my ideal sinless world. And as a woman, Nora Land, yes. And as a woman, I gotta see if the man can cover for me, meaning that when I have children, when I'm being a child, I need to know that I can take time off from work, that I'll be okay, because the man can take responsibility. It's not because a woman is a gold digger and she wants all the diamonds and all the money from a guy. It's just the human instinct. It's the natural instinct of survival. I am pregnant or I have child and I need to be taken care of because I cannot work, right? And I think it starts from there. But when people try to explain it other ways, maybe there are other ways. In my opinion, in my world, it is like this. It's not because I cannot pay for my share of dinner.
Yeah.
First of all, no one ever forced me to.
Yeah.
When I paid because I wanted to pay.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it never happened to the guys I dated. Like, there's certain unspoken rule. I can buy, movie tickets or coffee whatsoever, but if the guy is inviting you for a date,
yeah,
and if he asks me, for example, and not just me, it comes to all my girlfriends, including you, everybody else, if the part of split the bill comes up, I will show I won't show any emotions. I'll just pay for it, but I'll definitely make conclusions about the whole. Make notes, and probably the date is never gonna happen.
I don't
again.
have a problem buying like drinks, like round of drinks.
I love gifting presents, right? I give presents to, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like I'm cheap. I'm actually very generous, but at the same time, again, men think that woman just comes and eats for free, and it's just such a low thinking for me, low vibes.
But it is the truth. And honestly, like, the trick
how much do I spend for my manicures, for my hair, for makeup, for the lingerie?
A separate topic.
Okay, actually, if you think about it, we spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
At least me, and you too. I know. You know how much it costs to keep your hair every month maintained.
You know how much is a
manicure
nipple,
and pedicure. Exactly. And when men can't even invite you for a cup of coffee, which is literally costs $5.75, then I'm sorry.
No, but like, again, I wanted to tell you the trick I did before. I would like hit on guys on a bar, and I would get them with a surprise. I would buy a drink for a guy. I was like, barman, send that guy a drink. And when the guy gets the drink and he's like, what? And like, he's so confused, and then he has no other option to come to talk to you, and he's so surprised. Like, I did it a couple times. Works every single time. You buy a guy a drink, he's so shocked. He's
gonna
like,
talk to. Of
who
course.
is this girl?
No, honestly, men also deserve flowers. Like, men also deserve to be treated nicely, gift presents, and buying them drinks. What's wrong with that?
Yeah,
there's nothing wrong. I totally
and I think
support.
it's fun and it's cool.
Yeah.
And like, you buy a guy a drink.
Just don't overdo. Just don't overdo. Don't do it every time.
And then he buys you next round. So
Well, I have different tricks when I'm at the bar.
Oh, tell me.
Okay, so we have to finalize our podcast, but when usually I'm at the bar, of course, and I start ordering drinks, right? And I'm in a line, and obviously, why? Because bartenders like taking care of everybody. So you
Yeah.
wait for like 5 minutes next to the bar saying, can I get a drink? And then at the same time, obviously there are guys who are trying to meet girls. Who sits
Yeah.
at the bar? Everybody who's trying to meet each other, right? Because everybody else at the table in the restaurant. And you just start chit-chatting, you know, blah, 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 blah. And then you order a drink. He's like, I'll cover it. And then that's how it starts, because you literally spend some time already 5 minutes next to the bar.
Okay.
But again, I never expect people to buy me anything, like drinks or whatsoever. But of course, as a woman, you tend to know that there is a high possibility and chance. So why not? If a man offers, it's a feminine energy. You got to learn how to accept. And trust me, all these years I have a problem accepting. Like for me, accept something for free. It's like, oh, I'm going to owe the person. But in fact, no, it's our feminine energy where they want to give it to you. So take it. It doesn't have to. It doesn't mean that you owe them for this drink, you know. Or if something, just buy them another one, next one.
Like I feel bad. Like I have a this sense. Like I feel bad. Like if somebody buys me a drink, I feel like I have to talk to him. I have to
Oh, another story about the drinks at the bar. I think you should talk to him because first of all, that's what they expected. Maybe.
Well, yeah.
Unless there is complete creep, standing next to you. He actually might be really nice. But I had guys who like some of the friends of mine who told me the stories. They're at the bar and they're literally talking to the girl, and she was like, "Oh, can you get me a drink?" He was like, "Of course." He buys her a drink, and you know what she does?
She walks away.
No, she takes the drink and passes to her boyfriend. And he was like, "What?" And then she's like, "What? You offered? So what? I gave it to my boyfriend." Oh my God. So
that is so
some
mean.
girls and it's all in LA. All the stories I hear from it's in LA. One time my friend went on a date and with he thought a woman.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a woman.
Which is fine.
But he was like, well, she was very cool. Like they became friends, but he was like, I still would like some heads up, kind of.
Okay.
Because in his mind, he was going.
But like again, like what are you like? Oh, by the way, I'm a guy. Or like, how do you?
How do I know?
Because again, people get attracted to each other, right? But physical or mental or on a chemical level, right? And then it doesn't matter if it's a guy, a girl, a trans,
nobody's. All I'm saying, I feel like in a dating life in LA, those stories when the guys, they live as roommates in a like 1-2 bedroom apartment, and then they all take rent one Lamborghini for everybody, and they drive it separately to pick up girls, like in LA kind of thing. It's a thing in LA. No, it's a thing in LA. That's what they do. And wears each other's like expensive stuff, and that's how they rotate.
I mean, girls do the same, right? They like borrow the jewelry, borrow
I get
dresses,
it. But do you think girls rent a Lamborghini to pick up other guys?
Well, they would not rent a Lamborghini, but they would rent like an expensive, sexy dress to pick up a guy.
What I'm trying to say is that this whole idea of that the girls will only go out with you because you have Lamborghini, I think you are attracting what you're showing. And if you're showing this, of course, you're going to attract certain type of people who gets attracted by the material values.
Yeah, but think about it. What works?
Materialistic. Works to get laid? Maybe.
Yeah, that's the goal. To get laid. It works.
Yes.
Done.
But I know our podcast is about just fake it. But you still want to fake it to get somewhere real, right? And I think when it comes to love, sooner you start to be real and honest and sincere, I think that's how you can meet your match. Otherwise, it will all be just always fake pretending, and it's exhausting to lie. And again, as I said, if you're taking one Lamborghini for all the guys,
well, again, depending on your goal, if you want to try, if you're trying to find a girlfriend, a wife, no.
Guy told me one time, girls, we get those expensive cars for you. It's not for us. I'm like, what?
But the same, like we get boob jobs. It's not for us. It is a little bit for us too, because like
I think it's totally for us.
Also for other girls too. Yeah, we'll work.
Yeah, but when the girls wear like uncomfortable high heels in the club, and even my feet hurt.
Yeah,
looking at their feet, that's for sure for the guys. And I'm not saying that it shouldn't be there, but I'm also saying you gotta save some of your personality, because that's what you fall in love with. Again, what's the goal? The end goal is what? Just to get laid? Or actually create
and it depends where you in your life. Like, I definitely had the periods of life where I was like, I just want to have fun.
No,
Nothing
girls
serious.
just want to have fun. Oh, that is true. But anyway, concluding our podcast, we have so many crazy dating stories.
Oh, we do.
But at the end of the day, let's just be respectful, honest.
Yes.
And consider each other's feelings. At the end of the day, we're all human beings. So let's just keep up.
Yeah,
fun,
and just enjoy dating. Enjoy, because it's fun.
Dating.
It's fun experience.
It's because she's married. All right. Thank you for listening.
It was Just Fake It.
Coming to LA. Nora and Maryna, and we're sponsored by Invoice Media. Voice your passion. See you next week. And create love, not war. Bye.